Hey, hey, hey. How you doing? It's Cecily here of Operation Fibroid Freedom. I've got my ingredients set up here, and I'll just wait a couple minutes, see if any of my people that mentioned joining are going to join before I get started. I'm not going to be on here too long today, but yeah, I have a couple people that are supposed to be popping on. So yeah, how's your week going? Since we're just getting started while we're waiting. My name is Cecily Simmons. I'm the founder of Operation Fibroid Freedom. It's a platform I developed based on my own methods that worked for me to shrink uterine fibroids 100% naturally, successfully, and now I educate other women on how to do that in their lives, how to rid their wounds of uterine fibroids, as well as naturally balance the hormones, all the things that go into shrinking fibroids naturally, that are connected with the root cause of why uterine fibroids develop, is what I specialize in educating women on. I offer 90-day private coaching services for those of you that are interested in the most in-depth walk possible, without any troubleshooting that's already could be done in advance, has been done if you sign up for the 90-day private coaching. I basically give you all of the pillars necessary to make sure all of the bases are covered, to build what is called a sound, natural fibroid elimination protocol or regimen. It lasts 3 months, and it involves weekly meetings with me, hour-long via Skype or telephone, where I basically would be giving you the knowledge that is to empower you to take charge of your health, take charge of your womb, and start to take active, rigorous steps to see results with starting to break down that fibrous tissue. But speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you're interested in the coaching, forgot to mention you can email me at fibroidfreedom@gmail.com. I also have a smoothie booklet coming out with the recipes that I'm going to be giving, just like this one today, as well as another at least 20 more recipes that are optimized and directly focused on shrinking fibroids naturally. And I have a smoothie detox group that I'm starting up in October for those of you that want a more in-depth but kind of a compatibility, accountability type of a situation with you to help see your body with the best results, set your body up with the best tools to start shrinking fibroids, start detoxing your liver, utilizing these smoothie recipes and a whole host of other ones. In the group, we'll be working together. I'll be doing it with you. So, let's get started. Today's smoothie recipe is called the Yummy Yoni Colada. It's a spin on the pina colada, but it is obviously a fibroid detox smoothie. It helps to balance the hormones. Some of the other benefits, though, the added benefits, it has some sexual benefits. We all know pineapple is great for cleansing, deodorizing, and sweetening up the yoni. So this is called the Yummy Yoni Colada. In addition to all of the other health benefits, it's got some cool, sexy benefits too. So I'm going to get started with that today. It's got a few ingredients, and that's the cool thing that you're going to notice about my recipes for fibroid elimination. They are all traditional recipes for smoothies, but they're a little bit more technically involved, but that's okay. It just should show you that there is a lot of work put behind what goes into these for them to go into your body and do the work necessary to start helping you balance those hormones and shrink fibroids. So the first ingredient I'm going to start out with is some coconut almond milk. This is the brand that I love, Califia Farms. I'm going to pour in about a cup of that. Into the blender we go. Alright, so we have our almond milk. Non-dairy is the way to go. No dairy if you want to shrink fibroids naturally. Then I'm going to do my, every smoothie recipe I use has hemp protein. Hemp protein we talked about, and I'll continue to talk about, because, these videos are not just for you to just come on and just follow it, you know, blindly. You need to know why you are utilizing these ingredients that I'm including. So, you know, forgive me if I talk a little bit too much, but I'm going to continue because that's my coaching style, and I believe that everybody needs to know the benefits. And I know that people are just now finding out about me. So if this is the first time you're hearing about me, you're not going to know why I mentioned hemp protein. You may not have seen the other video. So hemp protein is highly nutritious, anti-tumor protein, and it's plant-based, which is even better. Has omega-3 and fatty acids in it, which are going to help your body to reduce the inflammation, which we will talk about the importance of understanding inflammation and how it relates to fibroids and shrinking fibroids naturally very shortly. So we added our hemp protein. Next, I'm going to add this magical stuff. Look at this. I made this about 5 minutes ago. This is called sea moss gel. Shout out to Dr. Cecili. May he rest in power and peace. But sea moss is basically seaweed, and you blend it up, you soak it and rinse it. It's a process of rinsing and soaking over 3 days, and it softens. In the last batch of water that you soak it in, you blend it. But this magical gel, and it's almost like ectoplasm from Ghostbusters, has almost all of the nutrients that our bodies need in this gel. Not to mention, it's going to go in and line our joints and help us to be more limber and retain, you know, our flexibility, help to repair any issues with inflammation, arthritis. You got to have sea moss gel. Super great for the womb and reconnecting, rebuilding new cells in the womb and new womb tissue in the body for women. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of this because it's so good. But yeah, it's literally gel. Like, you see that? That's what it does. I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. Alright, so we're going to keep it moving. I have in our Yummy Yoni Colada about maybe a cup of pineapple. I recommend freezing it. I didn't have time to freeze it today, so I have ice cubes that's going to go in the smoothie. But if you freeze it, you know, it's already icy. So I'm adding in our pineapple. I have a half of an orange, which matches my necklace, going in. Alright. And of course, since we're talking about rigorous activity that we want to cultivate with shrinking fibroids naturally, going in and breaking down that fibrous tissue, or fibrin, we're going to add in a handful of dark leafy greens, or the DLFs. Okay, the DLFs are going in. I'm going to add a few more for good measure. The enzymes in the raw plant enzymes that we talked about are also going to help break down the fibrin, or fibrous tissue that makes up the uterine fibroid. I have about a half a lime I'm going to squeeze into my Yummy Yoni Colada. Very easy today. Gosh, this is a hard lime. Alright, I think that's good. Now, we're going to talk about some herbal supplements that I recommend for reducing inflammation, and I'm going to go into the little talk on inflammation and why it's important to think about things in terms of inflammation, in terms of underlying connected imbalances and ailments and illnesses that might be, you know, plaguing women if you have uterine fibroids, because everything is related. If you have uterine fibroids, you know, you may have some other ailments as well. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, they're all related and they all affect, one affects the other. So if you think about things in terms of the underlying and connected issues in your body, it helps you to determine what supplements may work best for you to get the best results, to shrink the uterine fibroids and get those hormones balanced. So the first one is coconut oil for our Yummy Yoni Colada. That's our coconut going in. So I have about a tablespoon of coconut oil. Coconut oil is awesome because insulin is a big deal with our hormone balance or imbalance, whatever state our hormones are in. Insulin and insulin resistance plays a big role. Coconut oil is great to naturally address diabetes prevention, as well as prevent or reduce significantly insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome, which is where your body is kind of having trouble balancing your hormones, and the stress hormone, in particular cortisol. All of those are directly associated with the insulin levels in your body and your overall hormone imbalance. So coconut oil is great for that. It's also great for fertility. It's a great trick to get it into your smoothie and you don't have to taste it. Now we're about to add about a teaspoon, this is a little more than a teaspoon, of turmeric powder. Also super anti-inflammatory. A little goes a long way, and it's simple, a simple way to reduce inflammation. And the reason why we're talking inflammation is because there is a thing in the body that is produced called aromatase. And aromatase is directly linked to the growth of uterine fibroids in the fatty tissue on the body. So the less fatty tissue we have, the less likely we are feeding uterine fibroids. So things like that we're using that are anti-inflammatory are going to cut off that food supply to uterine fibroids and help to block the production of aromatase in the body. So that's why things like turmeric and coconut oil are awesome, as well as hemp protein. So the last thing here that I'm adding is about a teaspoon of maca. A little goes a long way. Super great for fertility, very potent, natural source of plant-based iodine, which is also going to help break down the fibrous tissue. So this is white maca root powder. Dropping that in. And I believe that might be all of my ingredients for the day. Let's see. Add in some ice. I may need to add a little more liquid because sometimes I add too many things, I get too excited. So let's see how this goes. You may want to turn down your volume if it's too loud, but let's see. I made a chartreuse green smoothie today. I love green. This is why I'm wearing my green dress today for green smoothie day. I'm going to try this for you here on camera. I could have added a few more ice cubes. I'll probably do that shortly after the video. But here's my yummy yoni colada. My take on a pina colada to shrink uterine fibroids, balance your hormones, boost your nutrient ratio and mineral ratio, as well as help your sexiness with a sweet, happy yoni. So let's see if it's good. It's really good. It's very light. I taste the coconut. This is an awesome, awesome drink. And you'll notice last week we did coconut water, and this week we're doing coconut milk. So that makes it more like the pina colada. If you like it a little bit sweeter, which I might recommend, I might go add some a pitted date to this, or you could add stevia or some agave syrup, and it'll really be like a pina colada, and you'll be shrinking uterine fibroids. But this is your Yummy Yoni Colada smoothie. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to take this time here to just talk. So, you know, if you were just here for the rote ingredients and you got it, I'm about to start talking, so you may want to hop off. But I'm going to answer a viewer's question. And first of all, I want to thank all of my viewers that have been watching my videos so far and keeping up with me here on YouTube. Also, the viewers that are on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, hop on over to @OP Fibroid Freedom That's me on Instagram. Support your girl. I will be doing some live stuff on the gram shortly. Trying to figure out how I want to break up the content, but I will be delivering some live, maybe mini classes or some form of tip or info that I want to disseminate will only happen on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So stick with me on all of the different social media platforms. Facebook.com/fibroidfreedom is the page to keep up with me there. There's a lot in store, but I'm going to answer a viewer's question. Her name is Candace Allen, and she mentioned on in the comments of 5 things to eliminate uterine fibroids. 5 things to eliminate from your life to shrink fibroids naturally, I believe is the name of my video title. But Candace Allen put up a question about shellfish. She mentioned whether or not she could eliminate meat and just continue to eat shellfish. And in my opinion, Candace, I would say shellfish are probably not the best, aspect of food to focus on for meat. Especially shellfish and not just fish in general. Shellfish are filters of the sea. So that in and of itself, the fact that they are made by Mother Nature to filter out the toxins, the pathogens, the impurities, whatever's in the ocean already naturally occurring that is dirty, that's what shellfish are made for. So they're made up of those substances that they are filtering out of the sea because that's what they eat, and we all are what we eat. So I don't recommend that you focus mainly on eating shellfish and cutting out meat. I don't think that that's a good option. I don't recommend doing that, and I don't know how clean that would be for your body and your womb to really help balance hormones. I don't know that that would happen. You may be taking in too many toxins. Not to mention the fact that nowadays in our modern day world that we are in, there's so much dumping going on in the oceans. There's so much pollution in our oceans and seas that it's not only the natural toxins and natural impurities that we have to worry about. We have to worry about man-made chemicals and impurities that are, in the ocean, and not to mention in the air that we are breathing every day, which is why detoxing through our food, as well as having a balanced protocol and regimen in place through herbs and supplements, is critical for seeing results with natural fibroid elimination and restoring natural health in general. So no, I don't recommend that you focus on shellfish. If fish is a little bit better, but you have to really watch the mercury levels. The oceans are full of mercury, which is a horrible heavy metal that can cause tumor growth and a lot of other ailments. So I don't recommend that you focus on shellfish or fish. I recommend that you go 75 to 100% vegan and work your way up to being 100% vegan at least 21 days at a time, then maybe 2 months at a time, then maybe 3 months at a time. That is the only thing that I can recommend, that I'm sure that you will begin to see major results with shrinking uterine fibroids naturally. I don't know about the shellfish thing being a good option for you. I don't think it'll be a good option. If you do want to eat any fish, I recommend it being not farm raised, wild caught fish, and then I still recommend that you go a step further, even though it's wild caught, and check and find out what the latest report is on the mercury levels and the levels of any toxins with the type of wild caught fish that you choose to consume, because that's always a factor. If you're eating sushi, which I love sushi, I love tuna, I love salmon, but the reality is there's always an ever-present level of exposure to heavy metals, to things like mercury and toxins present in our fish, even if they're wild caught now, because our oceans and seas are so polluted. Okay? So I hope that helped you. I hope that you all will make this smoothie recipe, and if you do, I hope you'll put out a tweet. I am at @byfibroids on Twitter. I hope you'll take a picture and put it up on Instagram and tag me with the Yummy Yoni Colada at @opfibroidfreedom on Instagram, or just meet me on Facebook and post a picture of yourself and your green smoothie that you are using to shrink uterine fibroids. It's great to connect with you, and I want to thank y'all for joining me. I will talk to you soon. My name is Cecily. Have a great weekend. Peace.